Two sources of wisdom I've hugely resonated with over the years, have been a big inspiration to me, are Dr. Gabor Mate and Dr. Zach Bush. And Dr. Mate says, disease is an outcome of generations of suffering, of social conditions, of cultural conditioning, of childhood trauma, of physiology, bearing the brunt of people's stresses and emotional histories, all interacting with the physical and psychological environment. And Zach Bush says, if we're going to break humanity free and we're going to move to a point that we're going to stop manifesting more chronic disease with every generation, we're going to have to tap into this regenerative potential. So we have to take back our power, recognize the huge amount of potential we have to tap into when we let go of limiting beliefs, of unhelpful stories and narratives that we've learned to believe about ourselves, or other people's stories projected onto us to keep us small and disempowered, and generational patterns of thinking, feeling, and behaving that tell us we're not enough. And all change starts with ourselves. We have to be the change. We have to heal our emotional wounds and our unprocessed trauma. And we have to love all parts of ourselves, which in turn will raise our vibrational frequency, both individually and collectively. Now, I'm not claiming to be a scientist or a doctor, and I'm certainly not a quantum physics professor, but my reading and research around these topics has supported me to take back my power, to listen to the truth in my heart and my soul, and create empowering beliefs, which in turn have created a state of balance in my body where I feel more well than I've ever felt, which to me backs up Bruce Lipton's research around the power of beliefs to shape what happens in our physical bodies. My research and holistic healing approaches have supported me to practice letting go of fear that was causing me to hold on to stories that were keeping me small and keeping me ill. And that's definitely work in progress. Like I said, I'm a lifelong learner and I'm constantly evolving. And Zach Bush explains this much better than I do. So I'd urge you to watch this video or any of his videos on YouTube to access his wisdom. And there's a link to his video on healing disease on that slide. So as I said, Dr. Gabor Mate has been a huge source of inspiration to me. And his work has really supported me to embed beliefs that have been helpful to me, to support me to let go of old unhelpful stories I'd learned to believe about myself, and to really embody a state of wellness. In his wonderful book, The Myth of Normal, he says that it all starts with waking up to what is real and authentic in and around us and what isn't, waking up to who we are and who we're not, waking up to what our bodies are expressing and our minds are suppressing, waking up to our wounds and our gifts, waking up to what we have believed and what we actually value, waking up to what we will no longer tolerate and what we can now accept, waking up to the myths that bind us and the interconnections that define us, waking up to the past as it has been, the present as it is, and the future as it may yet be. Waking up most especially to the gap between what our essence calls for and what normal has demanded of us. And in that wonderful book, he quotes V, formerly known as Eve Ensler, author of the Vagina Monologues political play. Now, V survived stage 4 uterine cancer and describes cancer as not a separate thing that has attacked your body. It's energy flow. It's a current. It's evolution or devolution that occurs when you're not awake and connected. And trauma is essentially ruling your life. It's such a mistake to identify it as a thing because that makes it hard matter when it's a much more psychological, spiritual, and emotional condition.